GearNetwork.com.
This is a Gear Network production.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Gear Network presents the
Not Just
Football Talk Weekly Podcast with John Cimino and Brandon Gorell. And now, here's John.
Happy Ascension Day, everybody! Yes, and Mr. Gorell over here burping before I did actually have that muted, so it did not get picked up.
Womp womp.
Yep.
It was a good one, too.
Hello, everyone. My name is John Cimino with a hoarse-ass voice right now from laughing at a video Brandon showed me before we got started here at LeeJC Money on the Twitter, and I'm joined, as always, on the Not Just Football Talk Weekly Podcast by the one and only Mr. Brandon Gorell. Say hello.
Oh, what's up?
And as always, this podcast sponsored by ShopGear.com. Man, I cannot
you
speak
gonna make
right
it,
now.
man?
I'm going to make it.
I thought that was bad. I took a little water before we started. I got allergies.
Yeah, I'm taking rum and Coke. So
yeah, that's what I'm doing too. But
that's not water.
I cleared before I took that.
ShopGear.com, my friends.
Not smooth as water, though.
Father's Day is coming up, among so many other things.
Hey, we're both fathers.
We are both fathers. Buy me shit at ShopGear.com. All right. Brandon, what is good, man? It's been a couple of weeks since our last podcast. We're heading into another Game 7, if I'm not mistaken.
We are. Oh, it's devastating.
What the hell's going on with the Penguins, man? Why do they like to do this stuff?
Because they just like to. I guess they like to do things the hard way. Last night, it was inexplicable. I can't fathom it. I just watched on Sunday, Craig Anderson give up 3 goals, get pulled, get put back in the game, immediately give up a 4th goal, and then get pulled for the rest of the game, and then comes out and makes a 45-save effort to save their season.
45 saves.
And a lot of them were high-quality scoring chances. These weren't fluky saves. They were tremendous saves. They weren't just like, a bunch of point-blank shots with no one in traffic and just right into his breadbasket. I mean, he had to work.
Well, it's fresh on my mind.
Yeah,
I did hear something today and read something because I didn't watch the game. I'm not going to pretend like I did. I had so much going on. It's not even funny. But I did hear that Ottawa did not sell out.
No, they didn't.
Playoff game.
They've been having trouble selling out this whole entire postseason. There's multiple reasons for it. 1, it's a pretty big place. Mm-hmm. 2, it's pretty out there.
Yeah, I heard it's like 20 minutes away from Ottawa.
From Ottawa. It's a ways out for people to go. And honestly, I mean, they're expensive tickets. And Ottawa, they're not doing...
6th largest market in Canada.
Phenomenally. Yeah, they're not doing phenomenally economically. So they're kind of, I think a lot of them are ready to just stay home and watch it on TV.
Mm-hmm. Is it a matter of the fans sticking it to the ownership for moving building the arena out that far or something? I mean,
I don't know. They're winning right now and they're doing well, but they're really boring to watch.
Well, right, but here, and this is something else too. Is besides that they're boring to watch.
Yeah,
they're in the 6th largest market in Canada.
Right.
Which probably is like Rochester here.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
There are plenty of other markets,
right?
That
Toronto's number 1.
If those fans, the Ottawa fans,
yeah,
I mean, they couldn't even keep a AAA baseball team.
No.
If Ottawa's fans are doing this to stick it to the owner for whatever reason, what's to say this owner doesn't want to take the team and move it to a Hartford and bring back the Whalers, or move it to Kansas City that wants a hockey team?
Only because Melnick is a Ottawa staple in that community and business ties in that area, and he'll never leave unless he sells the team. And I don't think he's going to sell the team until they win a cup.
So you think that
means he's going to die with that team?
Okay. Well, I guess
he's the guy who opened up the court case against Matt Cook for deliberately stepping on Erik Karlsson's foot and cutting him with his skate. He actually had a police investigation done on it.
Okay.
He also called for Crosby's banishment from the league because he tried to do the simple play that everyone does, is stick check, trying to whack another guy's stick, and he went up a quarter inch too high and ended up taking the tip off of Mathat's finger.
Oh.
Mathat has done more than his fair share of shitty shit. Case in point, last night, they're in a scrum, and every time they get a chance to, they put Crosby down by his head, they take him in a headlock, they take a shot to his head. In this case, he was in a headlock, engaged, and then Mathat comes behind him and starts gouging his eye with his bare hands.
That's awful.
Trying to pull it out. I mean, it was pathetic. There was other moment they caught on TV where a guy kept stick checking him against the board next to the ref, and then the guy on the bench is squirting water all over him. I mean, they're a bunch of amateurs, and they didn't deserve to win last night. They got lucky.
What would it say to the league? And I was actually going to be saving the hockey talk for the start of the second half.
Yeah, get it out of the way, man.
You know what? It's fresh.
It's all I'm thinking about.
It's fresh in my mind right now, so I got to just get it out.
Football can wait.
What? Goddamn flies in here.
Yeah, man. It's those little shit bugs that get right into the screen.
It's those. It's the season. What is it going to look like? Let's just say, hypothetically speaking, Game 7 doesn't go the way of the Penguins.
Ugh.
And it's Ottawa and Nashville.
Ugh.
I mean, you want to talk about two boring teams.
Well, Nashville's exciting.
Well, you know what?
The problem I have with Nashville is that their fans don't know shit about hockey.
Right.
Like, the Tennessean actually, took out a full-page ad where they had a rink on there and the rules of hockey on there, because a lot of people just don't understand it, but they're like, oh, yeah, I'll drink. I'll watch a game. I'll get loud. I mean, that's what they're there for. I mean, a lot of them don't understand hockey. I mean, there's a good portion of real diehards in there that are been there with Nashville since they came in. But honestly, the hype that they're getting is, what else is there to do in Nashville right now?
I will say that should Ottawa advance, I'm all in on Nashville for PK.
Yeah, PK.
I got
PK.
it. PK, as Stabley Cap would say.
And P-Air will be raving about him.
Oh, I bet he will.
He's been doing about Erik Karlsson. Before the series started, they were like, he's the best player in the world right now. I was like, he's not the best player in the world. He's playing against the best player in the world.
If it were Ottawa and Nashville.
Yeah.
And Nashville will get home ice. Okay, so let's just say...
No, Nashville doesn't get home ice. They're the absolute 16 seed. They were the lowest.
They wouldn't get the home ice?
No, they have the lowest seed in the playoffs.
I read that wrong.
They were the second wild card in the West. Ottawa was the third seed in the Atlantic Division, so they're already ahead of them. Pittsburgh obviously was the second best team in the league, so they would have it too. But Nashville can't get home ice.
What was the first team?
That was Washington Capitals. 2 years in a row. Eliminated by the Penguins.
How about that?
2 years in a row.
How about that?
Yeah.
How about that? But what if the Stanley Cup Finals... What if there's not a sellout?
Especially since they probably won't sell out.
I mean, that's the thing. What will that say to the league?
This was an elimination game for them, man. Right. I don't know if they were turned off by the fact that they lost 7-0 the game before, and they were afraid to go out. But I can't even say that as an excuse, because they haven't been showing up the whole postseason.
It's just insane to me. I can't.
I mean, it's an Eastern Conference final game.
I can't imagine.
I don't understand it.
I can't imagine. Why that game? You said, wouldn't sell. I mean, Sidney Crosby coming to town. He's won gold medals for that country.
Right. Go out and
going to play your hometown team in an elimination game.
Yeah.
And if that's not selling out, I mean, what's to say a Stanley Cup Finals game there wouldn't sell out? I mean, I can't even think. I cannot even fathom the thought of a Super Bowl not being a sellout. Right. Or a World Series game not being
NBA
a sellout.
Finals, a World Series.
NBA Finals was a sellout.
Yeah.
I mean, even when Tampa made the World Series,
right,
the games were sold out.
Right.
Most of them were the fans of the opposing team, but still.
Right. But still, there were people there.
There was people there.
Asses in the seat.
NBA Finals.
And there were there were seats that are on TV.
Right.
That are visible. It's not like they didn't sell out of nosebleeds. They had good seats available.
It's terrible because
not even on the resellers market. Straight up, I can just walk up to the box office and say, "Yeah, give me those two right there."
Yeah,
it's pretty bad.
It's
I don't think it's going to happen. Pittsburgh is, for the last 4 games of this series, really just actually the last 3 games of the series has really just, I'm just foreshadowing for tomorrow. The last 3 games of the series, they've carried the play. They've outshot Ottawa. They've outchanced them. They've outpossessed them. The first game they won 3-2. The second game they won 7-0. Last night they lost 2-1. They had a goal disallowed that was a goal. Nobody, except for the off-ice officials in Toronto, believed that was not a goal.
Right.
So, at worst it should have been 2-2, but that could have been a 2-0, and maybe the back is broken and they just aren't really into it. But
maybe.
Instead they get a 5-on-3 power play at the end of the period at 1-0, and 5-on-3s, if you have any kind of, chaps, you're going to score a goal, especially for a minute and a half they had the 5-on-3 for. They were getting down to the nitty-gritty and almost didn't, but they did, and it made 1-1. That's a whole different ballgame than 2-0.
Tonight, because we're airing on
tonight
we're airing on a
over.
Thursday.
I mean, Ottawa's walking out of the building.
Tonight is Game 7.
Pittsburgh's not going to lose at home.
I will be watching that
not
game.
Game 7. Are you?
I'm going to watch the game.
All right, good.
I'm going to watch the game. I'm going to bring the good karma to it.
If they start losing.
If they start losing, I'm going to go.
Shut that shit off.
If they start losing, I'll go.
Shut it down.
I will pull what I did for the World Baseball Classic and Team USA and go to sleep. That's the other karma, too. I go to sleep, they win.
Yep.
I happen to be awake when they lost last game, but in any event. Not Just Football Talk Weekly. We started with Not Just Football. Let's transition in to the base of this podcast, football. And let's talk about, Brandon, the Oakland Las Vegas Raiders offering angry fans refunds on season tickets.
Oh.
Approximately 1,000 fans have taken them up on that.
Make them drive to Las Vegas?
Mark Davis apparently put it out there and said, if you're angry, if you're mad, cool story, bro. We'll give you your money back. We don't care. And 1,000 fans took them up on that offer.
Yeah.
Mark Davis, when asked about it, said, quote, "It's not hurting our bottom line because all the season tickets refunded by the fans have already been purchased by those that were on the waiting list." The Raiders, of course, expect to play in Oakland until 2020 before moving to Las Vegas. Brandon, what say you about that? I feel that is truly a very Davis-like move.
Yeah, it's a Davis move. It's a rich guy move. You can't be super rich and not have a super big ego. And to say that, your bottom line is going to be hurt, the first thing you're going to react with is, no, it's not. So, and if you're a Davis, it's going to react even quicker.
Of course.
The NFL is a money-making machine, except for when it was in San Diego.
Right.
But
and St. Louis.
Yeah, in St. Louis. But people at least showed up more in St. Louis than they did in San Diego. San Diego was putrid.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, so, I mean, of course he has 1,000 people in line already on the waiting list to get season tickets. And in true fan fashion, they're not going to take a stand, and they're going to take those seats, and they're going to be like, oh, sweet, I'm glad you're salty. I get to go to Raiders games for the next couple of years. Mm-hmm. It's a business. The NFL's a business, but what can you do? What can you do? I don't really have a problem with it. I mean, he's a rich guy. They're salty fans. Nothing good's going to come of that.
Exactly. I still think it's a shame that the Raiders are leaving Oakland again, but
But when you're playing in a toilet it's not even a good toilet because the plumbing doesn't work in that place. So.
No.
And you can't get another stadium approved. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
I mean,
his hands are tied.
You can't, especially when you have a team that's marketable right now. They're winning.
Right.
They have a good squad.
Right.
Why would you, waste it on a piss-poor market with a piss-poor stadium with no chance of getting a Super Bowl?
Exactly.
You go to Las Vegas, you got chances of Super Bowls.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely going to get chances.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of Super Bowls, good segue. The Super Bowl in 2021, which was originally destined for Los Angeles, is now going to Tampa. A move unanimously approved by the NFL owners last Tuesday. The issues with the LA stadium, the LA Palatial Stadium that Kroenke's building, is delayed another year. So not only does LA lose the Super Bowl in 2021, but the Rams and the Chargers are going to play in
stadium again.
Their, the Coliseum and that soccer stadium, respectively, for one more season.
Yeah.
Raymond James Stadium will host the 2021 Super Bowl, and it has been going through major renovations since the last time that they hosted the Super Bowl, which was back in 2008.
Yeah. On a side note to that, what's going on with America? We used to be the best at the world at doing shit. And now we can't even get a stadium built. Like, we can't even get a stadium erected in 5 years. They have 5 years. 5 years to build a stadium, and they can't do it? Mm-hmm. It's not like you're building, like, the Great Wall of China. You're not stretching over some mass stretch of land.
When they're talking about...
You're building a football stadium.
Well, yes and no.
You bring all the crews in. Get it done.
They're building the football stadium, but there's also like a multi-complex thing here, and it's a big.
You have multi-crews. I mean, I don't understand how it takes 5 years to do that.
I agree with you. It
shouldn't take more than 2 to 3 years.
I think it took 2 years to build Yankee Stadium.
Right.
It took 2 years to build the new...
I've been to Yankee Stadium, the new one.
Stadium.
It's gorgeous.
It took
2 years.
Took, I think, 3 years to build Minnesota's new stadium.
Right.
Of course, birds keep flying into it, so...
Well, here's the thing. I mean, and on top of that, you built one in Yankee Stadium where most of the year it's fucking cold. Mm-hmm. And it's snowy, and it's shitty. But it got built in 2 years. Los Angeles, it's sunny all the goddamn time. Mm-hmm. You can't build a stadium in 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
You go 4 years, which seemed like a stretch to begin with. They're like, we're going to need another year, 5 years. What the hell are they building?
I don't know.
I don't understand it. I mean, are they building some magic force field?
What gets built
if you
first?
Try to throw a dilly on the field, it's just going to magically disappear into thin air and people won't catch it?
And show up in Buffalo.
Right.
But
it goes through a space-time continuum.
Brandon, what gets built first, L.A. or Las Vegas?
Probably Las Vegas.
Yeah,
those mofos get shit done, man.
I'm betting that's Las Vegas.
Casinos are going up on the reg. Mm-hmm. They go up quick.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, speaking of the Super Bowl, Tampa, and the Buccaneers,
yep.
Brandon, Fitzmagic is heading to Tampa on a 1-year, $3 million deal to serve as the backup
R.I.P.
to
Jameis.
famous Jameis Winston.
R.I.P.
Brandon,
Jameis.
Does the curse of Fitzpatrick strike Tampa? Now, 2 weeks ago, we both
Unless
said
they cut him in preseason.
We both said 2 weeks ago that we thought Tampa was the team to watch. Mm-hmm. That there was not going to be any dancing of the Julios in that division because Tampa was starting to build. Then they signed Ryan Fitzpatrick, who has legitimately cursed every team he has been on. Good move or bad move?
That's a bad move. First of all, why do you need him? You know, he got famous out there. Fitz doesn't even fit your system. Like, if you're running a system for Ryan Fitzpatrick, for Jameis Winston, who's got mobility, who can throw on the run, who can scramble, and then you're going to bring in Fitzpatrick, who can stand in the pocket and throw picks. I don't understand that. That's like a huge drop-off. You usually want to have a quarterback that kind of mimics your skills. Like, Seattle's always had a running quarterback as their backup. Mm-hmm. They may not have been the best quarterbacks, but they had a guy that fits their system. Mm-hmm. You're not going to go to Buffalo and have Tyrod Taylor be your starter and then have Kyle Orton be your backup. Mm-hmm. It's not going to work because you have to change the offense for that guy because half your playbook goes out the window because you can't run. Mm-hmm. So I don't really get it. It's a stupid move, honestly.
It's a stupid move, but Fitzpatrick is a really smart guy.
You could have had, he's a smart guy.
Aside from
people are dumb.
I don't get how this guy. It's more
other people are dumb than he's smart. It's not like he convinces somebody to give him a job. It's that somebody goes and says, "Hey, you know what? Fitzpatrick had some good games. Let's go sign that guy. He's available." And that's what they do. Mm-hmm. It's stupid.
Yep.
They don't watch the rest of the film. Like, they see that pass go up in the air. They're like, wow, look at the spiral on that thing. All right, let's sign him. And then he'll wait till the ball comes down and it's in the corner's hand. And he's returning it for a touchdown.
Right.
And he's flapping his helmet off with his beard falling out of the bottom of it.
Yeah.
For his fourth pick. It's ridiculous.
That Kansas City game last year killed me. I'll tell you, it was at that point when I realized the Jet season was just garbage that year. But all right, let's talk about rules changes here.
Yeah,
there's been a couple of big ones. There's been several, but I only wrote down two of the big ones.
Matters.
Well, I put two.
All right.
The NFL has relaxed celebration penalties, which to me shouldn't have been a penalty to begin with. But Brandon, there is one person of note that believes that the NFL relaxing the celebration penalties is a bad move. Can you guess who that is? I'll give you a hint. He used a second-round pick on a guy that punched a woman in the face.
Marvin Lewis?
Yes.
Oh.
Marvin Lewis, whom used a second-round pick on a guy that punched a woman in the face, believes that the NFL is setting a bad example for the youth of America. I'm not making this up. Quote, I'm not for that rule change at all. The rules were changed for a reason, and I thought that we had a good outcome. This is a team game, and I don't understand why we want to give in to individual celebrations.
Because it's boring.
Your thoughts on both the rule change and Marvin Lewis's comments?
First of all, rule change about effing time. It's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. And, like, they're not baseball, okay? Baseball has all these stupid unwritten rules, like, oh, don't show up a pitcher, you're going to get drilled the next time. Okay, great. Why? You didn't do your job. He did his job. He's happy about it. Go strike him out, and then the next time show out, do it, whatever you want to do. You know, it's so stupid. But to tell people that, like, you can celebrate, but only in a certain way is the dumbest thing ever. The guy is getting paid to catch a football or run a football into an end zone. Let him have a freaking tea party for all I give a shit. But then this whole crap, we're like, okay, that spike's good. Okay, those high fives are good. Oh, you shaked your ass. Nope, that's a penalty. It's completely stupid.
Yeah,
it's completely stupid. And Marvin Lewis just, it doesn't matter. He's not going to be a coach after next year anyways.
I have been saying that for the past 6 years.
No, he's done. He didn't get an extension this time. His contract's up at the end of the year. Short of winning a Super Bowl, he's not coming back. The guy can't win a goddamn playoff game.
Yeah.
You know, save it on all this character shit. If you were so worried about character, you'd tell every one of those guys not to play football anymore because you can die from it. You can get CTE. You have no problem with that, but you have a problem with a guy shaking his ass in the end zone. Get the F out of here.
You have no problem drafting a guy that punched a woman in the face.
Yeah, that too. Or a guy that is slapped people and gotten huge fights at the script club.
Made it rain with bullets.
You know. So I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
He's the Marvin Lewis face.
I don't think
I've always liked the guy, but he's just over the last few years has become kind of a.
I think he's got CTE from being head coach there.
I think he's just a jackass now.
You know, I mean, bottom line, that rule shouldn't have been. It shouldn't have been instituted in the first place.
Yeah, okay. Don't go out and do like Ocho Cinco where you're like hiding stuff in snowbanks and you're pulling out like Christmas presents. That's cool and funny for the one time that it happens. But I don't want to have that to be a circus every week. But if you can create something with just the football and yourself,
even just Jimmy Graham dunking the freaking thing,
that
like
whole nonsense, like you can't dunk on the goalpost because it puts him off the line. Get the F out of here.
Yeah, that's
the wind will blow it off the line more than Jimmy Graham spiking on it 1 to maybe 2 times in a game.
Right.
Get the fuck out of here.
Right.
It's all just boring.
Well, I'm hoping.
Well, I'm
hoping to see another epic William Gay celebration like that one time. Remember that?
Yeah. Here's why it happened, though. The amount of complaints from fans, the viewership being down, that's affecting their bottom line, and they know where it's coming from, so they make the adjustments.
Yep.
And then once they get the money back, and they get a little crotchety about it, we'll do something to curtail it again.
Yep.
And then when the things dip down again, then they like, oh, we'll make this change again. So it's, continuing our dominance.
That is exactly what
all it was ratings.
Guarantee you,
everyone
now
complained about it.
They say, all right, let's just say this was going to happen. You're going to get stupid football fan. Yeah, all right, it's about time.
Right.
You know, and it's that's just what it is. They're playing to the dumbasses of America is really what they're doing.
Yep.
Another rule change moves overtime from 15 minutes down to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Considering that we had 2 ties last year. What is the league trying to do here? I mean, are they trying to create more ties?
I think they're trying to create teams playing with more urgency.
Okay.
I think sometimes when you get these overtimes, teams tend to play a little safer because they don't want to blow the game. Then they start to get into a field position battle and like, oh, we'll slow them down and get our next possession, and then they don't. I want to see teams going out there running the 2-minute offense. Because that's when the ball moves.
Okay.
Every time, without fail, the ball moves. God damn it, there's a fucking June bug in here.
I can't stand those things.
Oh, he's gonna get whacked at the commercial break.
Oh, all right. Well, yeah, good. I hope
it's a stink bug.
I hope he.
Oh, it's a stink bug.
I hope it enjoys listening to this because it's going to be the last thing he hears. A number of games last year were decided in the final 2 minutes of overtime, and had this rule been in effect, believe it or not, Brandon, the Buccaneers would have made the playoffs.
Yeah.
And the Lions would have been out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Because of that. But good move or bad move, you think?
It's a good move.
Okay.
I'd say cut it down to 5 minutes. Do college rules.
I'm a fan of college rules.
Start at midfield. Mm-hmm. Start at midfield. 5 minute overtime. Mm-hmm. Play till the end of overtime.
Very good. Very good.
I don't want a sudden death.
No.
5 minutes. 5 minutes is enough time. It's like both teams can have the ball. Or if you're just really good and you can drive it down and spend 5 minutes from the 50, kudos to you. You won the game. But it can't end on a field goal either.
Right.
I wouldn't want somebody just, taking kneel downs and just waiting for a field goal and icing the clock out. I want touchdowns. You got to score a touchdown. And on your first possession, if you score a touchdown, then you know what? Both other team scores a touchdown, then all bets are off.
You know what I just thought?
You want to see onside kicks in overtime. I want to see crazy shit, man.
Yeah, you know what I just thought of is if the NFL, could you imagine if the NFL had the same overtime rules that college did?
Yeah.
What that would do to fantasy football?
Oh my God.
Tom Brady had like 8 touchdowns.
Right.
5 of them in the freaking overtime period.
No way.
That would be crazy.
Nah. I don't see anyone keeping up with them. They would end it quick.
Well, yeah, but
you get 2 touchdowns and the other team gets stopped once.
All right. Well,
you can get some of those epic ones.
Paxton Lynch got you 8 touchdowns, 7 of them in overtime.
Paxton Lynch.
The Seattle Seahawks are expected to work out quarterback Colin Kaepernick this week.
Yeah.
The Seahawks coach Pete Carroll said that both Kaepernick and RG3 are being considered as potential backups to Russell Wilson, which I'm sure Roger Goodell will like because there has been protests in front of NFL headquarters supporting Kaepernick, among other things, as many people feel that Kaepernick is being blackballed, if you will.
He is.
Because of his protests. And another note here, Sheldon Richardson said that the Jets locker room is, quote, already better without Brandon Marshall in it. He also says that he feels he's going to have a monster season. Brandon, Jets still 4-12?
3-13.
All right, fair enough.
3-13.
And Brandon, I know that I've been waiting to share this piece of news with you all day because your favorite All-Star game, the Pro Bowl, is not only returning, but it is returning to Orlando for the 2017-2018
so all the third-string players of the NFL can come in and compete with like 2 superstars. Because everyone gets a sunny trip to Orlando.
The NFL is going with that location because of the success, apparently, of the week-long Orlando Pro Bowl festivities last year over the player-desired location, which is in Hawaii. Brandon, it is so in demand that, let's just say your satellite goes down and ESPN, you can't see it on ESPN. They will simulcast it on ABC on January the 28th.
I can't wait for one.
And Brandon, they're going to once again go back to AFC versus NFC.
Oh.
So, in a serious question here, why the hell is the Pro Bowl still a thing?
I don't know, man. It's more money. People are signing up for it. They're showing up.
I don't
paying
understand
money.
It. Don't understand it. Never will understand it. It's terrible. I can't remember. I think the last time I watched a Pro Bowl game was when, and it was just kind of in the background, was when Peyton Manning called his kicker, the idiot licked it up kicker or whatever. Yeah. Called him an idiot, and that was it. So.
I mean, take a page from the NHL's All-Star Game. First, they have the Skills Challenge, which is a lot of fun. They have the players with their families out there, doing stuff with their kids in the shootout thing. Little kid setting his dad up for a one-timer, and the goalie's flopping all over the place and letting goals go in. They have the fun family-filled thing, but then they go and they have a short 3-on-3 tournament for the All-Stars by division. And they play against the divisions, and then the winning divisions play against the West versus the East. and you have the best players in the world, and they're competing for $1 million for a charity of their choosing.
Mm-hmm.
So it was fun. It was entertaining.
Right.
It's not meant to be super serious, but it's enjoyable.
Right.
The NFL's marketing the Pro Bowl like it's the
like it's a Super Bowl.
Like it's the next thing. Like it's the bridge that's going to save you from the Super Bowl on to what?
I don't know.
The abyss.
Well, I mean, it used to be after the Super Bowl,
Right.
and the big whole thing.
Now
and
it's
the whole thing,
before it, like-
the whole thing at that point was, well, you think
Yeah.
the NFL season is over after the Super Bowl? Think again.
Yeah.
The Pro Bowl's still here, babies, and now it's the week before
When you get
the
done
Super
with
Bowl.
that, tune in to the NFL Network for Mike Mayock's draft, mock draft 1.0. And
Yeah.
then you get ready for that in April. And then you do the draft. First you had free agency before that, though. Then you have the draft. Then you go through the draft, and then it's OTAs, and then it's optionals, and then it's like, okay, and then we're going to open mini camp, and then they have mini camp, and they have preseason, and then they have regular season, and they have playoffs. There's no
and
time off.
you've got the diehards that are all about it, and then
yeah.
and incidentally, before we go to commercial break, I would like
Drunk,
to
fat, and stupid.
yes, I would like to extend my sincerest apologies to our listeners
Yeah.
for the first half of last episode where we went over the draft. I listened to it and it bored the shit out of me, and I hosted it.
It bored me to do it.
So I'm sorry.
I didn't want to do the draft.
We're gonna do it, I'm sure, next year.
No,
but
we're not.
I'm gonna try, and
We're going to say, hey, look who was drafted. 1, 2, 3. Moving on.
maybe I'll just talk about our teams.
Yeah, talk about our teams real quick. No, don't even do that. Just the top 3 picks.
Fair
and
enough.
move on.
Fair enough.
Talk about something
Well,
else.
hey, I mean, the Jets will be in the top 3.
Yeah, man.
So yeah.
We won't be.
Yeah, all right. We're
We're
gonna
not the
take
Boston Celtics.
we're gonna take a commercial break, and no, we are not the Boston Celtics.
You're not getting a 1 seed and then going to get the number 1 draft pick.
How you doing over there, Brooklyn?
Oh,
Delete your franchise. We'll be right back.
I got to go through that again next year.
Oh no.
Boston gets that pick again next year.
Father's Day is Sunday, June 18th, and if you haven't purchased a gift yet, head on over to our Amazon store at shopgear.com and find that perfect gift for your father, stepfather, or father figure in your life. Everything from lawnmowers, tools, grilling supplies, and more can be purchased and delivered right to his door, gift wrapped with a card, and everything, the whole 9. It's awesome. And if your dad is an electronic junkie like me, we have Amazon Fire tablets starting at just $49.99, and for a limited time, buy any 3 all-new Fire tablets, and Amazon's going to knock off an additional 20% from your order. We also have gift cards in any denomination, too, if Dad wants to pick out his own gift. What's more, by using our shopgear.com link to go to Amazon and make your purchases, you help support this program at no additional cost to you. That's right, no gimmicks, my babies. Just use our link and shop Amazon. Have it delivered in 2 days or less with Prime. Make Dad happy and support a small business all at once. Win-win-win for everybody. As always, thank you for bookmarking, saving, and sharing our Amazon link at shopgear.com. IndyCard Media is your one-stop shop for quality designs at a quality price. They offer merchandising, company branding, event posters, custom clothing designs, and so much more. Check out their gallery of past designs by visiting facebook.com/IndyCard Media and tell them what you think. That's IndyCard Media, 337-446-4331 or IndyCardMafia@gmail.com. Tell them that we sent you. Again, 337-446-4331. IndyCard Media. Bring your designs to life.
Where in the blue hell did you find this, Brandon?
The internet. It's a scary but hilarious place.
I'm telling you, the internet is undefeated. It really is. I had an idea to come back to a different song, but then I heard this, and I'm like, this is hilarious.
Tongo, man. Look him up.
Look them up, and then when
Oficial with 1 F.
and you gotta read the words too.
The video is outstanding.
But it's hysterical.
He's got some gems on
This guy seriously looks like Bartolo Colon, like, in 20 years. Like, if Bartolo Colon ever retires, which I hope he never does, because he's a gift from the baseball gods. But, yes, Tongo, Chop Suey. Unbelievable. We're going to have a hell of a soundtrack if we ever released one. But, Brandon, we are back on the Not Just Football Talk Weekly podcast. And you know what? We started the Not Just Football Talk Weekly podcast with hockey.
Yep.
Let's make our way into baseball, shall we?
Beesball?
And you know what? For old time's sakes, Brandon.
Oh, Giants are trailing 4-2. Oh.
We're gonna use the prime time song when I would go over the scores for the NFL. I'm gonna do it for MLB here. The scores that are final as of right now, which of course today will be yesterday's scores. The Red Sox 9-4 winners over the Rangers. The Rays 5-2 winners over the Angels. Albert Pujols hits career home run number 598.
Yep.
The Washington Nationals 5-1 winners over the Seattle Mariners. The Colorado Rockies over the Philadelphia Phillies, the 15-29 Philadelphia Phillies. Brandon,
Rockies playing good ball.
7-2. D-backs over the White Sox 8-6. The Athletics over the Marlins 4-1. The Toronto Blue Jays. I'm not sure if there was a bat flip this game or not, but certainly no benches clearing brawl that I've heard of. 8-4 winners over the Milwaukee Brewers. Here is a game of interest for me because former Gear guy Jose Berrios, continuing his role, 6-1 inning pitch,
first place Minnesota Twins, by the way.
4 hits, 3 earned runs, 7 strikeouts, 1.66 ERA, and the win goes to 3-0 on the season since his call up from Rochester. The Twins, first place Minnesota freaking Twins, 4-3 winners over the Baltimore Orioles. The scores that will be final by the time that you hear this tomorrow. But the games that are going on right now, the Indians lead the Reds 3-2. The Padres over the Mets right now, bottom of the 9th, 6-5.
Mets got them loaded right now.
Bases loaded right now.
2 outs.
The Braves over the Pirates 4-3 in the bottom of the 8th. Cubs over the Giants. Brandon, sorry, 4-2.
Yeah,
bottom of the 8th.
Not a great year, but
Tigers over the Astros right now at the end of the 8th, 4-2. The Cardinals over the Bums right now, top of the 2nd, 2-0. And the Yankees and Royals are final, 3-0. Winner, chicken dinner. The New York baseball Yankees. Terrible. Yeah, they're pretty
they
bad.
Fell off last year. They've gotten even worse this year.
Yeah, they're not bad. But I mean, let's go back to Berrios for a minute, man. I mean, I was happy.
I saw a piece on him, I think, on SI the other day.
Really?
Yeah, talking about how he's going to be like the hidden gem.
They were talking about it earlier on, and it's a funny story that I'll share, and I've shared before. But I have a friend that works at the Rochester Red Wings, and he, sent me a message and was like, he's a fan of my wrestling from my wrestling days, and we kind of, networked and became friends that way. And he brings me, like, before the season begins, I think it was the 2015 season, and he tells me about this kid, Jose Berrios, that he has. And he was, hoping that, me and Ryan Wolf, the pizza man, Better Alive Than Dead, would work on, promoting on our podcast and, social media push and, do what we can to kind of help boost this guy and it's been fun watching him from the Chattanooga Lookouts all the way to the Red Wings to his first call up, and then he got sent back down and fine-tuned his stuff, and now he's up there, and I don't think he's coming back if he's dealing like this.
I mean,
did you see
Sports
that?
Illustrated covered him talking about is he Minnesota's Twins' ace? Is he ready to be? And then Fox Sports says Twins pitching phenom Jose Berrios is too good to ignore. And this was 3 hours ago they posted this. So
did you see his nasty curveball?
Oh, that curve is just...
I've seen...
The only thing you got to worry about with those curves, though, man, is those elbows.
Yeah. Tommy John, problems. You don't want that.
Yeah.
But I've seen Berrios live, I think 4 or 5 times. And each time he got better. And the thing that and I love the Red Wings and I love the Red Wings fans that are there, but even and they pack the place in the weekends. They do a really good job with promotions and pack the place in the weekends. But during the week, during Berrios' starts, not very many people were going.
No.
And that was like, and I'm sitting here, and I was a believer from the moment I first laid eyes on the guy. And following him, you know, and truly following, like, he is a guy whose jersey I will probably get, and wear, even though he's on a different major league team that I root for, because of the fact that I've been with this guy since day one.
Right.
So I'm very, very happy to see Berrios do what he is doing for the Minnesota Twins, and really for the Twins to be in first place, honestly, because that says a lot about their entire system, and especially coming through Rochester here. That's pretty good as far as I'm concerned. But
they got another guy down there, Adalberto Mejia. They got him from the Giants in the Nunez trade.
You did mention that
he's
a while ago.
Pretty solid. I mean, he's got strikeout stuff. The problem is trying to get his, his control in the strike zone, where he's kind of allowing, too much of the strike zone. But, I mean, last 10, he's not been terrible. He had one bad game in there, but, against, on the 16th, or the 28th of April, didn't give up any runs. Pawtucket, he got lit up.
All right.
Then played against Pawtucket again, gave up two runs.
Okay.
And then no runs in his last start. Over his last few starts, he's had four games pitched, and he's got 3.48 ERA in there.
All right.
So, I mean, he's a guy that's going to, he's got strikeout stuff. Trying to get his strikeouts in here. This is terrible. This wings, like minor league baseball crap, is just junk. Yeah, he had 6.5, 4, and 1. He only had one strikeout last game.
All right. Well,
but last year, I mean, I watched him in that game against, I want to say Durham. And he had like 11 strikeouts in that game. I didn't pitch a complete game shutout.
Didn't you post something on Gear Network's Facebook about that?
Yeah, I think so.
Did I make you an admin on that? Maybe I should.
What's that?
I said, did I make you an admin on that? Maybe I should.
No.
I don't know. All right. So I did a little bit of a social experiment.
Yes.
Because again, football off season. We're not talking just football. We're talking multiple different things. And this is the shoot the shit time, if you will, of the Football Talk Weekly. And yeah, you got to catch up, my man. I'm almost done with this glass. And so I put out there survey time.
Yeah.
The hot dog, Brandon. Is it a sandwich or no?
Oh, no way.
I asked people to discuss, and I'm going to go ahead and just say, you say no?
No.
Why not?
Because you can eat a hot dog without a bun. You can't eat peanut butter and jelly without a bun. You're just going to slap a clump of it on your plate.
Put it on your hand. Lick it.
Yeah. And you can also put it on your balls and call your dog over, too. Doesn't make it a good idea. What the hell's wrong with you? Some kind of psychopath who puts peanut butter and jelly on their hands.
You
put it on bread.
Balls and call the dog over.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I just said that doesn't make it a good idea. It's a terrible idea. You don't put it on your hand or your balls. You put it on bread. That's what makes it a sandwich. Do you ever go into the fridge and just grab deli meat and just throw it in there on a plate and just eat a pile of deli meat?
Believe it or not, and he's going to probably get pissed that I said this, but he doesn't listen to this podcast anyways. My stepson. God. I don't know.
Better watch that kid.
Sometimes he gets weird on. He gets weird about bread. News. He gets weird about bread, and he was like, "Can I just have all the meat on the sandwich on the plate?" And I'm like, "What the hell's wrong with you?
Get out of here!"
Yeah, but
you have hot dogs on a plate, man. Split a couple of dogs open, throw them on top of some home fries, and for me beans. But I don't do that mac salad bullshit because it's got mayonnaise in it.
All right.
It's not a sandwich.
Okay, so now.
It's a bun.
The majority of the people...
burger sandwich?
The majority of the... You know what?
It's not. It's a hamburger.
I think the burger could pass as a sandwich.
Eddie Murphy. Mom makes that fake-ass McDonald's burger with this pink dough. You just put 2 pieces of bread on it and a big old ball with some ketchup on it, and all you got left is pink dough because the grease soaks through. You have to have that on a bun, and a bun's not for a sandwich. Bread is for a sandwich. Universally,
my people said no.
Yeah.
Although there is a few that I will read off because some of them just put yes.
Because we want to go find these people and kick the shit out of them for being so stupid.
A few people said yes. Like Eric Emanon said yes, but didn't really specify as to why.
No name.
Mr. Perez, if it is in bread, then yes.
If I put my dick in a bread, you're going to be fucking, that's a sandwich too? Get out of here, Lewis.
He says we just don't call it one, but anything wrapped in bread is. Without bread, no. That's what he says.
What a dumb statement.
I
put a friggin' Reese's chocolate Easter bunny in a sandwich bread too. Does that make it a sandwich? No.
It's technically a sandwich by strict definition, says Captain Dan. Not my brother.
Did they watch Rock get blown in the face?
Kind of a quote no fun definition, but strictly yes.
No.
Let's see.
They're all wrong.
Alex Mikado. Anything between two of the same things, it's a sandwich. Cookie sandwich, ice cream sandwich, guy girl guy sandwich. Dawn says no.
You married a smart one.
Dusty says if it involves bread and rolls, yes. Alone, no. Same goes for the hamburger.
That's not a sandwich.
Super Beast from Wrestling says, of course it is. It's a piece of meat with bread covering it, much like how bread covers a sandwich. But then there's a conversation that spurred off of that. Mad Dog from Wrestling writes, what about a corn dog? Hot dog covered in cornbread. Emanon replies, it's on a stick. Even if it was off the stick, it's more like a pizza log than a sandwich. They called that a deep fried hot dog.
That's still got bread on it, technically.
Handsome Randy says, no, not even close. Manny Escobar from the Bone Crushers. These are all my wrestling friends, by the way, in case if you can't tell. No, a hot dog is not a sandwich. Let's see here. I get
think. Yup. No, man, it's not a sandwich. I don't care what these people say.
Of course, Jim.
I'm the authority on this.
Of course, Jimothy.
It's also soda. It's not pop.
Jimothy Schutz writes, I thought we weren't going to talk about this in public and gives me heart's eyes. I don't know.
Okay.
All right.
Seriously, I mean, I could put it, if I put iron shavings in between two pieces of bread that makes it a sandwich. No. There's ingredients to a sandwich. You can't just stick anything in there and call it a sandwich. I mean, that's what Subway's been doing. Does everyone eat Subway too? 5-foot meatball sandwich. It's not a meatball sandwich. It's a sub. It's a sub. Call it what it is. It's not a sandwich. The people back there are just friggin' camel jockeys. They're not goddamn sandwich artists. Get the fuck out of here.
I am going to make a vow that the day of our recording podcast, every single time, I'm going to do a survey.
All right.
Of something like this.
Survey
because
says...
it's very interesting discussion and very interesting to see the different perspectives from people. And more,
that's because they're all contrarian dickheads and they just want to be, oh no, it is a sandwich. You want to know why? Because it's Facebook and I've got to argue about it.
Oh, what? No, but more said no than yes.
Yeah, more but the people saying yes were the people that wanted to go in and have a discussion. They want to have a fight about it because they know they're wrong.
Hey, you, let's fight. Them's fighting words. Remember that from The Simpsons?
It's not a sandwich.
Oh, man.
Hot dog. It's on a bun.
I must correct myself. Albert Pujols, homer number 597, not 598.
Oh, okay.
I said 598.
I know he homered today.
I take that back. Yes, that was 597.
Yeah. But seriously, it's not a sandwich.
It's not a sandwich. Okay.
No.
Nobody responded on Twitter, which surprises me because typically whenever I post things on Twitter, people respond, especially if it's anti-Trump related or wrestling related, which is really weird.
Yeah.
I don't know, why wouldn't you want to answer if whether or not hot dog's a sandwich? That's a goddamn serious question, damn it.
Right.
But
like, it's not a meatball sandwich, it's a meatball sub. I can eat meatballs on a plate. I don't need the bread.
Okay.
I can eat a hot dog on a plate. I don't need the bread.
I should have just...
Peanut butter and jelly? I need the bread.
I should have gone live with this on Facebook because you look on your face right now, the passion that is coming out of your mouth into this microphone.
Conversation lately because it was on Jimmy Fallon and they said, no, it's not a sandwich. The Rock and Jimmy Fallon were like, oh yeah, I think it's a sandwich. Questlove said, no. Boom. You get blown in the face. As they deserve for being so dumb.
I had no idea that was on Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah, it was on Jimmy Fallon.
I saw it.
Him and The Rock were wearing wigs and goggles, and they had this confetti cannon that were blowing in their face if they got something wrong. And they were showing it back in slow motion. And Questlove was on this giant screen like the Wizard of Oz from behind. It was just his head floating in between two of them on a screen, asking them the questions, and then he told them the answers, and then and they play it back in slow mo with the would Rock's face skin get blown back by the air cannon, and his little wig. He had a red, long-haired wig.
That's funny.
It was pretty funny. And it's not a hot, and they said it too. It's not a sandwich.
It's not a sandwich. I had no idea that even took place, but no, I didn't think the hot dog was a sandwich anyways, so.
We were talking at work the other day, we were talking about, because someone had asked, there's like, are you a soda guy or are you a pop guy? I was like, I will pop the next person that calls it a pop. It's a soda. And
I jokingly will say sody pop or whatever.
Yeah.
Me and Bretsky used to do that all the time.
Yeah. My coworker Chris, he lives down in Atlanta. We call him Big South because he's got a very southern accent. He's big southern, big smooth.
Big South.
And he's like, well, down here, they just call everything a Coke. he's like, you want lemon lime Coke? You want orange Coke? And they're like, orange Coke? And he's like, yeah, it's orange Coke. And he comes back and it's a Fanta. Everyone calls it everything Coke. It's not soda or pop down here, just Coke.
Jesus Christ.
It's Pepsi, it's Coke.
All right.
Like, all right.
Okay.
Stay away from Atlanta. They blow 28-3 leads. They
blow soda.
Things Coke.
They blow soda names too. That's insane. Everything is Coke.
Sprite is Coke.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What would cocaine be?
Coke. Booger sugar.
I would. You know what? If
Bolivian marching powder.
If soda is Coke and cocaine is Coke, you really got to watch out for Atlanta because you don't know what you're getting wherever you go. I don't know. But
yeah.
I'm back on that iPhone.
Maybe Tongo's down there.
Tongo's a man.
But seriously, yeah. It's not a sandwich.
Not a sandwich. All right. Well, thank you to everybody.
Figure something out next week.
Thank you to everybody that participated in the survey. You guys had no idea that I was going to be using that for podcasting material. And, most of you probably don't even listen to this anyways, so
Start listening.
I'm going to guess.
Send your angry tweets to me.
No, the angry tweet. You send all the good tweets to you and to me, and the angry tweets, the vengeful tweets, go to Mr. LG Perez.
Oh, okay.
So,
I want him to call me out for not calling a sandwich.
What?
Let him call me out for not calling a sandwich.
Why is he
calling them idiots?
He's not going to call you out for that.
I'm talking about Lewis.
He's probably going to laugh at you for that. He's probably going to laugh. Yeah, whatever.
And then he's going to tell us on Facebook that he's watching the Penguins in the last 3 minutes of the game when they're winning. That's usually when he tunes in. Other than that, he's watching the Yankees.
All right.
Love you, Lewis.
We are going to end it on that note. Thanks again for everybody tuning in to the Not Just Football Talk Weekly Podcast. Much better than last week's draft special. Thankfully. You know what? It happens to the best of us, my friend.
No one's going to listen this week because they're afraid the draft is on there.
No.
You better tag this as absolutely no draft talk except for negative draft talk.
I will, if I remember, I'll put that on there. But all right, so thanks again for tuning in, everybody, to the Not Just Football Talk Weekly Podcast for this week. I invite you to tune in to the Gear Network iHeartRadio channel tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. for the relaunch of the JC Money Show. That's right. I'm back.
Yeah, you are.
I'm back with the JC Money Show. It is Gear Network iHeartRadio exclusive. For the ride into work, you hear it on Gear Radio, on Gear's iHeart channel. And for the ride home to work, if you don't have iHeartRadio and you're just lazy, well, then it'll be available on all the other forums there.
What if you hate radio?
Well, if you hate radio, then
I don't get to listen to you.
Then you're shit out of luck. I don't know.
Yeah.
But all right. So shopgear.com, iHeartRadio, listen, love, like, subscribe, all that shit. Brandon, let's do this again, shall we?
Yeah, before we go, I think that I have a marketing ploy for iHeartRadio. You should buy the domain I Hate Radio. And so when they go and type in I Hate Radio, it still redirects them to iHeartRadio. And they say, see, you have to heart radio. There's no other choice. You can get Despise, Loathe, just do all those. Just buy all the domains.
Fair enough.
I Loathe Radio.
Good day to you, sir.
Good day to you.
So long, everybody. Good night now. The preceding presentation has been brought to you by the Gear Network.